Good morning, everybody. This is Liz Schode, registered dietitian and director of clinical nutrition here at Jackson Purchase Medical Center, doing another Learning with Liz lesson today. And last week I kind of hinted a little bit of what I was going to talk about this week. It's summer. It's not the official summer, but it's hot outside. And a lot of people like to go on picnics or go to the lake and things like that, and we take food with us a lot of times. So it's very important that we try to keep that food safe so that way we don't get sick from it. So I know last year, I probably talk about this every summer, but I think last year I went through this same thing, and maybe even the same little handout that we're going to attach to this talk. But it's really, really, really important to look at it and try to decrease your risk of developing any kind of foodborne illness. Because if our food spoils and we eat it, it's going to make you sick. So, and it's not a fun sickness to have at all. So I'm just going to kind of go through four different types of steps, and then I have a great little handout that we'll attach. It's nice and colorful, that has all sorts of helpful hints and stuff for us to do. Also a few little statistics on here about like how many people can actually get sick from foodborne illnesses and stuff, and it can be very eye-opening actually. One little statistic it has on here, it says approximately 1 in 6 Americans may be stricken with food poisoning each year. That's a lot of people. 1 out of 6. If you're in a room with 12 people, 2 of those people are going to probably get sick. There's actually an estimated 128,000 hospitalizations from foodborne illnesses. So a lot of times we think, oh, I might just be a little sick. But some people get really, really sick and they have to be hospitalized. And so we don't want that to happen. So what can we do to help prevent that? First thing we need to do is, of course, before we even prepare our foods, is we need to wash our hands. 20 seconds is what we need to do. You can either sing happy birthday twice or do your ABCs. That's a quick, easy way to think about how many seconds do I need to wash my hands. Just not any like that. No, it's 20 seconds. Soap, warm water, very important. Also keeping your surfaces clean. If you use a cutting board and you cut some meat on it, you need to wash that off before you put something else on that, because there could be some germs that have gotten crossed over onto that cutting board. Also, take paper towels with you when you leave, and that way you've got something that you can use to wipe up any kind of spills and things like that. Fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, we need to rinse those things off. Even put a little bit of soap, say like on that cantaloupe or on that watermelon, and then rinse it off in warm water. Back probably, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, there was an outbreak of salmonella, and it was from cantaloupes, because the cantaloupes were sitting in the field, and some of the fertilizer that they used to it had salmonella in it. And then people took it home and they didn't wash it. And if you cut through that surface, if it's on the outside, it's going to go into the inside of that. So wash those fresh fruits and vegetables before you cut into those. Cooking, at the correct temperature before we leave home, making sure that meats are well cooked. I have on this little site, it gives us some actually different types of temperatures of things like hamburgers and chicken and turkey, sausage, steaks, what those foods need to get to those temperatures for a safe temperature for us. Like burgers, they really need to be around 160 degrees to kill all of the bacteria that might happen to be in that hamburger meat. We don't need to eat raw hamburger meat because that could get you sick. And then also in chicken, very important, with chicken and turkey, you want it to get to about 165 degrees is what you want that chicken and turkey to if you're going to grill that temperature with that. You can use a thermometer, get a food thermometer. If you are going to cook something that has a bone in it, you don't want that thermometer to go right next to that bone, because then that's actually taking the temperature of the bone, and rather than the meat, just pull it back a little bit and make sure it's just stuck in with the meat wise to get the temperature with that. And then, refrigerate foods. After we cook them, say if we're cooking something for the next day, refrigerate that. then when we take it to serve, we've got to keep things cold. If things need to be cold, we need to keep cold foods cold and hot foods hot. So how can we do that? So with trying to keep things cold, putting them, in with like an ice bath, that you can put down ice in one container and then put your container down on top of it that's containing the food, things like, especially things, or anything that's cold, like potato salad, also things like deviled eggs, slaw, anything that needs to be cold, it needs to stay cold. So you need to put it into that ice bath. And then trying to keep the hot foods hot. So making sure that we're having either a crock pot with us, or if we don't have access to electricity, you can take a styrofoam cooler and line it with aluminum foil, put that hot food in that, and then close it up very tightly, and that way that'll try to keep that heat in there. So very, very important of keeping those proper temperatures, because we want to try to keep ourselves from getting sick. There's actually temperatures with the cold foods cold and the hot foods hot, and I'm going to kind of tell you about what those temperatures, the danger zone is. The danger zone is between 40 degrees and 140 degrees for more than 2 hours, or 1 hour if your outdoor temperature is above 90 degrees. So it's very important that we keep those cold foods cold and those hot foods hot, so that way we decrease our risk of developing that foodborne illness. So I hope today gives you just a few little tidbits. Like I said, we'll attach actually a great little article, as well as the fun little colorful sheet that I have that has all sorts of helpful tips for you. If you have any questions on this, please just drop us a note here on our Facebook site, or if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, drop that on there too. So we hope everyone has a safe day, and make sure that we're eating healthy and try to eat safely. Thanks for watching.